Hello and welcome to my studio. In this video I'm going to show you how I made this picture. The lighting in this picture is simulating dappled light as you may find in a forest. This was achieved with a single studio flash and a simple cardboard cookie or breakup. Then, together with a small amount of smoke from a smoke machine, makes an atmospheric result. And in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Okay, so what I've got set up so far is just a couple of stones which I've literally taken out of the bottom of a ditch. And I've just arranged these on this table just with some bits of slate and so on around, just to make a good background for the main subject, which of course is this key. Now what I've done to the key in order to mount it is I've drilled a hole down the end of it, and I'm just going to insert this drill back into that hole like so, and then this I'm going to place on this stone. Now previously I've also drilled a hole in the stone, so if I just take that out of there and pop that in like so, that will make the key stand up on its own like that. There we are, which is a little more interesting than just having it laid down. Okay, so we'll just angle that slightly like that. There. Okay, so that's the subject. So to capture that, as usual, I'll be using a full-frame digital SLR with a 24-70 zoom lens on the front and a flash sync trigger on the top. The whole thing is tethered into Capture One software, so it's easy to see the results as we go along. Okay, I'll just pop this on the tripod here. Now I've previously set this up so that we're looking along the axis of the stone, and the key is prominent in the foreground here. So what I'll do is just turn the camera on like so, and you can see that the software has recognized the camera, and these are the settings that I have on the camera at the moment. So it's in full manual mode, 1/250th of a second for the shutter speed, which is the flash sync speed for that camera, ISO 100, and an aperture of f8. So with those settings, what I'll do is just grab an image and we'll just see if we get any contamination from the house lights. Good. So at those settings there is no picture, which is what we want. So all the light which will be affecting this will be coming from the studio flash. Okay. So this is what I'll be using. This is a Profoto D2. This is a 1000 watt mains powered studio flash with modelling light and all the other bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do is just raise this up into the air on this stand. I'm taking it quite high on purpose, because I want to simulate sunshine. So that would be a point light source. So the source is actually quite small from the subject's point of view. Okay, so with that just in approximately the right position, we'll just turn the flash sync on, select that head and just turn it on. There we go. So at an arbitrary energy level to start with, I'll just grab an image and we'll just assess what exposure we can get. Okay, so you can see from this image at that energy level it's a little low. I think we probably need 2 or 3 stops more energy. So what I'll do is just add 3 stops of energy to that head. There we go. So with that now done, I'll grab another image. There we are. That's more like it. If I just zoom in, yes, we can see that the focus isn't quite right. So I'll just need to set that. So we'll just look through the viewfinder and focus that up. Okay, so let's have a look, see what it's like now. Just grab another image. There, that's quite a lot crisper. So that's the sort of thing that I want. Okay, so the other thing that you can see from this image is that there's an awful lot of spill. Using a light such as this with nothing on the front of it would mean that the light is coming out of that in all directions. And I don't really want that. So what I'm going to do is just put a small spill kill snoot on the end of that, just to control where the light's going. So we'll just pop that on there. This is a very simple one. It's one that I've just made out of some cardboard. So with that on, I'll just grab that and show you the difference. There you are. So we've lost all of this distraction from the background. Still got some flare in here. Might have to do something about that eventually. That is what we had before. That is what we've got now. Okay, so now it's time for the cookie, or gobo, or breakup, or whatever you're going to call it. Basically, it's just a piece of cardboard with some holes in it. This is actually the lid of a box, which makes a very good breakup or gobo. And what I'm going to do is suspend this on this C-stand, which I'm just going to place just in here in approximately the right sort of place, something like that, so that this will be in between the light source and the subject. So I'm just going to hang that on there with these two clamps. There we are. Pop this up in the air a bit. Now, as we are at the moment, I can't actually see what's going on. So even if I turn the modelling light on that light, which I can do like that, it's very difficult to actually see what's happening on here. So to help me with that, I'm just going to turn the house lights out. Okay, so now with the house lights out, it's a lot easier to actually see what's happening on the table here. So as I move the gobo or cookie, it will move the shadows that it's forming on the subject, like so. So with that in something like the right position, let's just grab an image and see what we get now. There we are. So this has already started to break up. So you can see in this image everything is a little flat, and in this image it's all a bit broken up. But the key itself is in shadow, because most of the light obviously is coming from behind it. So the next thing to do is to address that. Here we are. So I've just got a mirror here and a lab stand. So what I'm going to do is just place this mirror so that it's recycling some of that light back onto the key. Something like that. There we are. So now with that in place, what I can do is grab an image and we'll see what difference it makes. There you go. So quite instantly we've gone from this to this, which has illuminated the key, but because it's quite a large mirror, it's also illuminated quite a lot of the rest of the stone around it. So what I need to be able to do is control where all this light is going. So what I'm going to do is add some masking to the surface of the mirror. There we are. So now you can see that the reflective area is quite restricted. So again, if I just place this back in position, like so. Now if I grab an image, there. Now we've got an illuminated key, and we still have a nice dappling on the moss here. So that's without it, and that's with it. Okay, we still have this flare, which we've got at the top here, So it'd probably be a good idea to get rid of that as well. So again, what I've got is another flag here, which again is just a piece of cardboard in a retort stand. And I'm basically just going to place this just on the edge here, just so that it's shading the lens from the effects of the light. So with that in position, we'll grab another image. And there, that's got rid of all the flare. So there's still a few things in the background there, and when I add some smoke, if I left this as it is, then all of this area down here would also get illuminated by the light, and we would lose part of the beam effect that I'm looking for. So what I need to do is add some flags to this. So here I've got a flag, just again on a C-stand. And just bring that up ever so slightly, like so. There. I'll just add another one here, like this, and another one here like this. So that should have got rid of most of the spurious light. So we'll just grab an image just to make sure that's all working fine. There, that seems to have worked quite well. So now we can dispense with having the lights out, so I can turn the house lights back on, and I can also just turn the modelling light off because we no longer need it. There we go. So now you can see that this has closed off the back part of this set quite nicely. So it's now time to add some smoke. Now for that, I'm going to use this small smoke machine. So we'll just place that there, we'll turn it on and let it warm up. Okay, so there we go, the smoke machine is now ready to go. So just before I start, what I'm going to do is just spray this area with some water, just to liven it up a little bit. So I'll just temporarily remove the key. Spray the moss. Like so. I'll put the key back. Like that. Okay. So I'll fire the smoke machine and take some pictures. It's always a good idea to take quite a few as the smoke dissipates. So there we go, we've got quite a few to choose from there. So what I'll do now is just go through that and assess which ones I want to go forward and take into post-production. So for the post-production, I'm in Photoshop and I've loaded 3 files from the shoot earlier. So this one, which I think has worked quite well, we've got some nice rays in the smoke there. And this one, which is a variant and again has worked very well. The one that I think I'll be taking forward is this one. I quite like the little curls that we've got in here, and I think this has worked very well. Okay, so I can get rid of those because we're not going to use them. And I'm going to make a copy of this one. So going onto the layer, just right click the mouse, ask for a duplicate layer, but ask for a new document. And we'll just call that key. There we go. So Photoshop has now made me a new file at the top here called key. So I can dispense with the camera original, and this is what I will be editing. So it gives redundancy. If I want to go backwards, I can always go right back to the camera original. Okay, so just looking around the image, I can see that there's a few things that I just want to address. One is over here. We still have a small amount of contamination from the background, and also I think this area down here is a little bright. So what I might do is just add an adjustment layer to start with, and we'll add a levels adjustment like so. So what I want to do is just take all this area down a little, but I don't really want to affect very much else. So I'll just alter that by taking down this slider. There, something like that. So going back to the layers, if I just click on the layer mask that comes with that, I can just invert that like so. And now wherever I paint in white, just make sure white is your foreground colour. That will then bring through that effect. So I've got quite a large brush here, and I'm just going to take it down this side like so. There. A bit at the bottom and a bit down this side as well. Now also for this bit down here, this is generally a bit too light, I think. So I'll just add another layer like that. And now just making sure that black is the foreground colour. I'm just going to paint over this in black, and then I can take down the opacity until I'm happy with the result. So we'll just do that very quickly. So. And now adjust the opacity to bring that back to where I want it. About there somewhere, I think. That's about right. Good. So having done that, if I now just go back onto the image itself and I zoom in, you can see that we've actually still got some of the drill which is supporting the key here showing at the bottom. So it's a fairly simple clone operation just to get rid of that. So again, we'll just pick a reasonable sized brush, hold down the Alt key and pick a suitable sample, something like that, and we'll just clone that out. Like so. Yeah, take that back out again. Okay, so finally, if I just pick a crop, now I'm using this for video, so I'm using a specific ratio, so it matches the video very well, but you would pick something which suits your subject. So I think what I will do is just move this side out slightly, something like that. That's maximizing the smoke in the top of the image there, which I think is quite nice. We're not losing a great deal at the bottom here, so I think that's pretty good too. So I'll just click on OK for that. And now just using another layer, I'll just add a layer in between there, and I'll just paint in here with black. So again, just making sure that's black is selected as the foreground colour, and we'll just take that all the way down, like so. Then once that's done, I'll just move that to the very bottom, like so, and that makes the image come back. Okay, and there we have it. So with the aid of a few bits of cardboard and a single studio flash, I've produced something there which is quite atmospheric, especially with the smoke. And I think overall that has turned out very well. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed seeing how I made that image, and if you like watching these sort of things, do click on the other images as they appear, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and click on the like button. Thank you very much for watching.